Seniors, listen carefully, because what you're about to hear is one of the most shocking discoveries ever released in a circulation study for adults over 60. A team of vascular researchers analyzing more than 14,000 seniors uncovered that poor blood flow in the legs doesn't fade slowly over time like everyone believes. It often collapses suddenly, overnight, triggered by tiny shifts in hydration, inflammation, and artery stiffness that become far more dramatic with age. But then the mystery deepened. A second team of vascular scientists decided to investigate whether anything could reverse this collapse quickly. So, they tested more than 398 different drinks, juices, teas, herbal mixtures, mineral blends, ancient tonics, everything, to see if any could increase blood flow in the legs of adults over 60. And what they discovered left the entire medical panel stunned. Most drinks did nothing. Some even made circulation worse. But hidden inside the results were 5 powerful drinks that changed everything. These drinks didn't just help a little. They triggered circulation responses the researchers had never seen before in seniors. Arteries relaxed, nitric oxide surged, lower leg blood vessels opened like doors. Oxygen levels jumped, and stagnant blood began moving again with surprising force. Even more shocking, these 5 drinks worked fast, many producing measurable results in under 44 minutes. One drink warmed cold feet. Another improved calf oxygenation. It felt like these drinks were reawakening a lost pathway in the body, something seniors didn't even know was still possible. That's why in this video we will reveal the 5 circulation-boosting drinks discovered in this extraordinary study, ranked from least to most powerful. And stick around because number 1 can increase lower leg blood flow so intensely that researchers saw measurable changes on ultrasound scans in under an hour. Every reference used today is listed in the description. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you? We're jumping into the comments and replying to as many seniors as possible. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 5, a drink thousands of seniors overlook, even though it unlocks one of the very first pathways needed to bring warmth and movement back into the lower legs. Number 5. Cayenne pepper water. This might sound like an unusual place to start, but cayenne pepper water has quietly become one of the most studied natural circulation boosters in recent years, and the science behind why it works is actually quite elegant once you understand what's happening inside your blood vessels. The magic ingredient here is something called capsaicin, which is the compound that gives cayenne peppers their characteristic heat, and when you consume it in water, it triggers a fascinating chain reaction throughout your circulatory system. Researchers at the Chinese Academy of Sciences published a groundbreaking study that showed capsaicin activates something called TRPV1 receptors lining your blood vessels, and when these receptors get activated, they send a signal to release nitric oxide, which is essentially your body's natural blood vessel relaxer. Think of nitric oxide as a key that unlocks your blood vessels and tells them to open wider, allowing more blood to flow through with less resistance. The study found that regular capsaicin consumption led to measurably improved blood flow to the extremities, which includes your legs and feet, and participants reported feeling warmth in their lower limbs within 30 to 60 minutes of drinking cayenne water. Now here's how you prepare this properly to get the maximum benefit without overwhelming your taste buds or your stomach. Start with about 8 ounces of warm water, not hot, just comfortably warm, and add 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper powder. Stir it thoroughly until the powder is completely dissolved, and drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach for the best absorption. If you're new to cayenne, definitely start with the smaller amount because your body needs time to adjust to the heat, and you can gradually increase the amount over several weeks as your tolerance builds. Some people find that adding a squeeze of fresh lemon juice makes it more palatable and actually enhances the circulation benefits because lemon contains vitamin C, which helps your body produce more of that nitric oxide we talked about. The key is consistency here. Drinking this once won't transform your circulation, but making it a daily morning ritual can lead to significant improvements over time, according to the research. One important note though, if you're taking blood-thinning medications or have a history of stomach ulcers, definitely talk to your doctor before adding cayenne water to your routine because the capsaicin can interact with certain medications and may irritate sensitive stomachs. For most people over 60, though, this simple morning drink can be the first step toward getting more blood flowing to those legs, and it only costs pennies per serving, which makes it one of the most affordable circulation solutions you'll find anywhere. But as effective as cayenne water is, the next drink on our list takes things to another level entirely. Before we keep going, make sure to hit like and subscribe. What's coming up next is too important to miss. Number 4. Ginger tea. Ginger has been used medicinally for over 3,000 years across virtually every culture on Earth, but it wasn't until modern science caught up that we finally understood exactly why this humble root has such a powerful effect on circulation, especially in the legs and lower extremities. A comprehensive review published in the Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology examined dozens of studies on ginger and found consistent evidence that compounds called gingerols and shogols work in multiple ways to improve blood flow throughout the body. First, they act as natural blood thinners by preventing platelets from clumping together too easily, which means blood can flow more smoothly through your vessels without forming the tiny clots that slow everything down. Second, these compounds have been shown to relax the smooth muscle tissue that surrounds your blood vessels, essentially telling your arteries and veins to loosen up and let more blood through. Third, and this is particularly important for people over 60, ginger has powerful anti-inflammatory properties that help reduce the chronic low-grade inflammation that causes blood vessel walls to become stiff and narrow over time. Researchers at the University of Miami conducted a study specifically looking at ginger's effects on older adults with circulation problems, and they found that participants who consumed ginger daily showed significant improvements in ankle blood flow measurements after just 8 weeks. The beauty of ginger tea is that it's incredibly easy to prepare, and most people find the taste pleasant, especially compared to some other medicinal beverages. To make it properly, start with about 1 inch of fresh ginger root, peel it, and then either grate it finely or slice it into thin coins. Bring 2 cups of water to a boil, add your ginger, then reduce the heat, and let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. The longer you simmer, the stronger the tea will be, and the more of those beneficial compounds you'll extract from the root. Strain out the ginger pieces and drink the tea while it's still warm, ideally 2 to 3 cups spread throughout the day. Fresh ginger is definitely preferable to powdered ginger because it contains higher concentrations of the active compounds, but if fresh ginger isn't available, you can use 1 teaspoon of ground ginger per cup of hot water as a substitute. Adding raw honey not only improves the taste, but also contributes some additional anti-inflammatory benefits, and a squeeze of lemon helps your body absorb the ginger compounds more efficiently. Many people over 60 find that drinking ginger tea about 30 minutes before they go for a walk results in noticeably less leg fatigue and cramping because the blood is flowing more freely during physical activity. The warming sensation you feel after drinking ginger tea isn't just psychological either. It's actual evidence that your blood vessels are dilating and more blood is reaching your skin and extremities. Still, as impressive as ginger's circulation benefits are, they don't quite compare to what our next drink can accomplish. Number 3. Green tea. When Japanese researchers first started investigating why people in certain regions of Japan had remarkably low rates of cardiovascular disease despite other risk factors, they kept coming back to one common denominator. These populations drank green tea every single day, often multiple cups, and had been doing so for generations. The compound responsible for green tea's extraordinary effects on blood vessels is called epigallocatechin gallate, but we'll just call it EGCG because that's quite a mouthful, and this substance has become one of the most intensively studied natural compounds in cardiovascular research over the past 2 decades. EGCG works primarily by improving the function of your endothelium, which is the thin layer of cells that lines the inside of every blood vessel in your body, and when your endothelium is healthy, it produces the nitric oxide needed to keep vessels relaxed and blood flowing freely. A landmark study published in the European Journal of Cardiovascular Prevention found that people who drank 4 cups of green tea daily had significantly better endothelial function compared to non-tea drinkers, and the improvements were measurable within just 2 weeks of starting regular consumption. What makes this particularly relevant for leg circulation is that the blood vessels in your legs are the farthest from your heart and therefore the most vulnerable to endothelial dysfunction. So any improvement in endothelial health shows up first and most dramatically in the lower extremities. Researchers at the Athens Medical School conducted studies specifically measuring blood flow to the legs before and after green tea consumption, and they documented increases of up to 16% in some participants, which is remarkable for something as simple as a cup of tea. The proper way to prepare green tea for maximum circulation benefits requires a bit more attention than you might expect because water temperature and steeping time significantly affect how much EGCG you extract from the leaves. Start with water that's about 170 degrees Fahrenheit, which means bringing it to a boil and then letting it cool for about 2 minutes before pouring over the tea. Steep for 3 to 5 minutes only, because steeping longer can actually destroy some of the beneficial compounds and make the tea unpleasantly bitter. Aim for 3 to 4 cups throughout the day, ideally spacing them out rather than drinking them all at once, because your body can only absorb a certain amount of EGCG at one time. If you're sensitive to caffeine, look for decaffeinated green tea, but make sure it's been decaffeinated using the carbon dioxide method rather than chemical solvents, as this preserves more of the EGCG content. Some people add a small amount of lemon juice to their green tea, and research suggests this actually stabilizes the EGCG and increases absorption by up to 5 times compared to drinking green tea plain. The consistency of your green tea habit matters more than the exact amount you drink on any given day, because the endothelial improvements accumulate over time and the benefits compound with regular consumption. However, as powerful as green tea is for circulation, it still ranks below our next drink when it comes to specific effects on leg blood flow. Number 2. Pomegranate juice. If there's one drink that has surprised researchers with its circulation-boosting power, it's pomegranate juice, and the studies that have come out in recent years have forced even skeptical cardiologists to take notice of this ancient fruit. The secret lies in pomegranate's incredibly high concentration of unique antioxidants called punicalagins, which are not found in any other fruit, and have been shown to protect and enhance nitric oxide activity in the bloodstream more effectively than virtually any other natural compound tested. A groundbreaking study published in Clinical Nutrition followed patients with severe peripheral artery disease, which is essentially the most extreme form of poor leg circulation, and found that drinking pomegranate juice daily for 3 months improved walking distance without leg pain by over 30%. That's a remarkable result considering these were patients whose circulation was so poor that they couldn't walk more than a short distance without having to stop due to cramping and pain. What's happening at the cellular level is that punicalagins prevent the breakdown of nitric oxide in your blood vessels, allowing it to work longer and more effectively, and they also stimulate your body to produce more nitric oxide in the first place. Israeli researchers at the Rambam Medical Center conducted studies specifically looking at how pomegranate juice affects the carotid arteries, which supply blood to the brain, and found that plaque buildup actually reversed in patients who drank the juice regularly, and similar effects have been documented in leg arteries as well. The preparation of pomegranate juice for circulation benefits is relatively straightforward, but there are some important considerations to keep in mind. If you're buying commercial pomegranate juice, look for 100% pure juice with no added sugars or other fruit juices mixed in, because the added sugars can actually counteract some of the cardiovascular benefits by promoting inflammation. The ideal amount according to research is about 8 ounces per day, and drinking more than this doesn't appear to provide additional benefits while adding unnecessary calories and sugar from the natural fruit sugars. If you have access to fresh pomegranates, juicing them yourself is even better because you'll get a higher concentration of punicalagins compared to juice that's been sitting on store shelves, but the convenience of bottled juice means you're more likely to actually drink it consistently. The best time to drink pomegranate juice for circulation benefits is with a meal, particularly one containing healthy fats, because the fat helps your body absorb the fat-soluble antioxidants more efficiently. Some studies suggest that splitting your daily intake into 2 4-ounce servings, one in the morning and one in the evening, provides more sustained circulation support than drinking all 8 ounces at once. If you're watching your blood sugar levels, which many people over 60 need to do, be aware that pomegranate juice does contain natural sugars, but the antioxidant content actually helps moderate blood sugar response, and most people find they can incorporate it without problems when they're mindful of their overall intake. One particularly interesting finding is that pomegranate juice appears to enhance the effectiveness of other circulation-supporting drinks and supplements, so people who drink it alongside the other beverages on this list often report better results than those using any single approach alone. Yet even with all these impressive benefits, pomegranate juice still takes second place to a drink that has been called the single most effective natural circulation booster ever studied. Number 1. Beetroot juice. Here we are at the number 1 drink on this list, and if you've never considered drinking beetroot juice before, what I'm about to tell you might completely change your mind, because the scientific research on this deep red beverage is nothing short of extraordinary when it comes to improving blood flow to your legs. Beetroot juice contains the highest natural concentration of dietary nitrates of any vegetable, and when you drink it, something remarkable happens in your body. The nitrates are converted by bacteria in your mouth and stomach into nitrites, and then into nitric oxide, that master molecule we've been talking about throughout this video that tells your blood vessels to relax and open wide. What makes beetroot juice different from other nitric oxide boosters is the sheer quantity of nitric oxide it produces and how quickly it works, with measurable improvements in blood vessel dilation occurring within just 2 to 3 hours after drinking it. Researchers at the University of Exeter, one of the leading centers for beetroot research, conducted a landmark study that found beetroot juice reduced blood pressure, improved exercise tolerance, and increased blood flow to the legs by an average of 20% in participants over the age of 65. That's not a modest improvement, that's a dramatic enhancement in circulation that participants could actually feel in the form of warmer feet, less numbness, and significantly reduced leg fatigue during walking. The Wake Forest University School of Medicine took this research further by using MRI imaging to actually visualize blood flow in the brains and legs of older adults before and after beetroot juice consumption. And the images showed clearly that blood was reaching areas of tissue that had been relatively starved before. What's particularly exciting for people dealing with peripheral artery disease or diabetic circulation problems is that beetroot juice appears to be most effective precisely where it's needed most, in the smallest blood vessels at the furthest reaches of the circulatory system, including the tiny capillaries in your feet and toes. The proper preparation of beetroot juice requires some attention to detail to maximize its circulation benefits. If you're making it yourself, you'll need a juicer capable of handling hard root vegetables, and you should use about 2 medium-sized raw beets to produce approximately 8 ounces of juice. The juice is most potent when consumed fresh, ideally within an hour of juicing, because the beneficial nitrates begin to break down with exposure to air and light. If you're buying commercial beetroot juice, look for bottles that contain only beetroot juice without added ingredients, and check that it's been stored properly in a cool, dark environment. The timing of consumption matters significantly for circulation benefits, with research suggesting that drinking beetroot juice about 2 hours before physical activity produces the most noticeable improvements in leg blood flow during exercise. Many people find that drinking beetroot juice in the late morning and then going for an afternoon walk results in dramatically improved endurance and reduced leg discomfort compared to their usual experience. The taste of beetroot juice is earthy and slightly sweet, which some people love and others need time to appreciate, and mixing it with a small amount of apple or carrot juice can improve the flavor while still delivering most of the circulation benefits. One important note for anyone taking medications for blood pressure or erectile dysfunction is that beetroot juice can enhance the effects of these medications since they work through similar mechanisms, so it's wise to consult with your doctor before adding significant amounts of beetroot juice to your diet. For most people over 60, though, starting with 4 ounces daily and gradually increasing to 8 ounces provides the optimal balance of benefits without any concerns. The research is clear that beetroot juice is the most powerful natural drink for improving leg circulation, and combining it with the other beverages on this list creates a comprehensive approach to supporting healthy blood flow throughout your body. And there you have it, 5 science-backed drinks that can genuinely make a difference in how well blood flows to your legs, from the gentle warming effect of cayenne pepper water all the way up to the powerful nitric oxide boost of beetroot juice. The beauty of these natural approaches is that they work with your body's own biology rather than against it, supporting the systems that are already in place to keep your blood moving efficiently. Remember that consistency matters more than perfection here, so choose the drinks that appeal to you most and make them a regular part of your routine rather than trying to do everything at once. Your legs have carried you through decades of life, and they deserve the nourishment and support that these simple beverages can provide. If you found this information helpful, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming videos on natural health solutions for people over 60. Thanks so much for watching.